Am I recording?
Yeah.
You think I am?
I think so. Push that
Recording on this computer.
Recording button on the call.
I think it's recording, so I think we're good, right? I don't know. This is a first time experience for me using Zoom to record, so hopefully it'll work out. And everyone can see the chemistry preview slide that we're going to go through. Is that correct? Emma and Ivy and Chris and Melissa?
Yeah. Yeah.
What? Oh yeah. Let me show you guys. My twins. This stuff is already, I mean, you know this stuff about me. I'm just going to show you pictures. So here's my 5. I know that's like a crazy number. My 5 daughters. Yeah, I have 5 kids, and they are all Goyles.
Wait till you get a boy.
No. Nope, I'm done. And I don't want any boys. They're like heathens. Like, I saw my nephew chewing on a table the other day. He's like 12. So, no. Yeah, so there's my kids. This picture was taken 3 days ago. This is Alaire, she's 6, and Vienna, she's 4, and Iris, she's 2. And then this is Rosalind, and this is Freya. Freya. Yeah. No, it's the Norse equivalent to Venus. So Vikings. Anyone recognize the name Rosalind? Any of you biology people?
Are they all have to do with like science and stuff?
No, they don't all have to do with science, but Vienna is the city of music. Iris is the goddess of color. Rosalind was the person that discovered DNA structure. Freya is Venus in the Norse language. Alaire is my wife's grandma's name. So, yeah. What? Excuse me? I know, I'm a nerd. It's okay. It's okay. So let's start today with some chemistry. What? Oh, Shalina. That's what's nice though, is like you all can hold me accountable for what's going on in the Zoom meeting. So
You can do online.
you can do online only, yes. Yes, you can. All right. So let's get started. So for online people, pull up a Google Doc. You'll be submitting this to me. Just send it in an email or share it with me. So open up a Google Doc in a different window, online people. You'll be responding to the prompts on this. What?
Should we take notes and then send a picture, or is it like a different assignment thing?
So on this one, I mean, you could take notes and send a picture. We're not going to be taking notes per se on this. So this isn't like notes, everybody. This is, you're just going to be responding to some prompts, answering, like, we're just going to have a discussion as a class with what we are covering here. You will turn this in. Make sure your name is on it. If you want to do it on a piece of paper, online people, you can do it that way, and then take a picture and send it to me. I just find it easier to do on a Google Doc and share it.
I'm gonna take notes.
Cool. Yeah, and then there'll be a couple things that I need to modify for you online people. Let's see here. Yeah, oh, that's not what I want to do. Do any of you know, any of you people, could anybody tell me how to do breakout rooms in Zoom? Has anyone tried any of that?
What?
Breakout rooms in Zoom?
What is that? Yeah. What is that?
It's like people that are in the Zoom meeting can be put into smaller groups together, and then they can come back. Google it. I could do that. Compare. Oh wait, share computer sound. Hide video panel. Hide names. Meeting info. Stop recording. Pause recording. This is going to be a great video on my YouTube channel, by the way. Everybody's going to really enjoy this one. Annotate participants. I wonder if I can. More. Ask to start video, make host, rename, put in waiting room, remove report. No, that's not what I want. Well, I guess I'll have to figure that out later because I'm not going to. What?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Ask all to unmute. Mute participants. Allow participants to unmute themselves. Play sound when someone joins or leaves. Enable waiting room. Lock meeting. Yeah, that doesn't give us any options either.
Play sound when someone joins.
Ding ding. I don't know. Well, I'll figure that out later. I'll just kind of modify things right now. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, so chemistry, what is it? What is it anyway? Chemistry is the study of elements, compounds, their composition, structure, and behavior. You don't have to write this down, people. If you want to write it down, I mean, by all means, write it down. But you don't have to. If I was you, I wouldn't, because I'm lazy mostly. Okay, so number one, prompt number one. What comes to mind when you think of chemical? Okay, what comes to mind when you think of chemical? I want you to write it down on your piece of paper. 2 or 3. No need to be fancy. Just write down what you think when you hear the term chemical. Okay. Should have 2 or 3 things there. So let's talk about ancient chemistry. Ancient chemistry, these people were known as alchemists. And you can see this is a great picture. This dude is accidentally blowing something up, and his wife or maid or whoever is like, meh. And then you can't really see, but there's a little child here who's terrified. But yeah. What? Oh, because lab safety protocols weren't a thing, probably. Yeah, they're just hanging out there, being in a dangerous situation. But yeah, so this was really the practice of changing materials into other materials. What has anyone heard the term alchemy before? What does it usually refer to? What? Okay, magic, yeah. It is definitely, it was kind of considered as a kind of a magical thing. Yeah, potions, yeah, to make, a potion of some kind, for sure, alchemy. Any other ideas of what it usually would refer to? Elijah?
Usually like
Liquids, yeah. Yeah. Liz? Toxic chemical? Okay. So when in the ancient days, these are all true. Like this is what alchemy was, but the primary pursuit of alchemists was to turn regular mundane, quote unquote, metals into gold. Because that was kind of something that was valuable, right? Gold is of great value. And so that was a dream of alchemists for a really long time. Can I turn something like lead or iron into gold? And it was the pursuit of a lot of different people. You may have heard of a dude, his name was Isaac Newton. He dealt in chemistry, well, not, we call it chemistry now, but in alchemy. We know that Newton was a weird dude though, like drinking mercury and stuff. Probably not the best idea.
Oh, I still have my bottle of mercury.
What?
I still have my bottle of mercury.
Oh, you have a bottle of mercury? Nice. I don't think you did. Yeah, you got to be careful with mercury. So alchemy was very common in the ancient days. Thankfully, we understand how to do chemistry now, and we're not blowing up things with our loved ones in the room accidentally. There's a bunch of really good stories about alchemists either accidentally killing themselves or being killed by people who were disappointed by their alchemy powers. So it was a kind of a dangerous occupation. What? I think they're fun. Of course, in my kind of dark humor kind of way. Okay, so that's alchemy. It's kind of the beginning of what we would call chemistry. So we're going to go back to the first prompt to talk about it in a little bit. But what kinds of things in your life are only possible because of chemistry? I want you to think of 2 or 3 things. Two or three things that are possible in your life because of chemistry.
Are we writing these down or are we just saying?
Yeah, Emma, write these down. So anytime that you see a number here, put the number down on your paper and then answer the prompt on the paper or in the doc. You don't have to write down the prompt. No, don't write down the prompt. I mean, for the love, please don't write down the prompt. That's just a waste of time. Okay. So everybody give me a thumbs up on Zoom or in the classroom if you have 2 or 3 things that are made possible through chemistry. You have them written down? Yes? Okay, so what you're going to do is I want you to turn to a neighbor. Turn to a neighbor. Franklin, you can join the table in front of you. And Eleanor, join the Eleanor, talk with Leighton. Cool? Everybody else is a partner. Talk about the 2 or 3 things that you discussed. And then if you're online, Emma, what did you write down?
I put down plastic and deodorant.
Okay, plastic and deodorant. Okay, awesome. Why did you put those things down?
Because when we started, I Googled chemicals and deodorant popped up as one, which was kind of funny. And then I just know plastic is.
Okay, cool. And then Carissa, are you able to talk, Carissa?
Yeah.
Cool. What did you write down?
I don't know if this is right, but I put things like makeup and hair products and like cleaning products. I don't know.
Okay. Makeup, hair products, cleaning products. Awesome. So we have a few different examples there. Okay, now that you've chatted with your neighbor just a little bit, under prompt number 3, put down what they said. And then, so Ivy and Shalina and Melissa, those of you who are not that did not speak, write down what Carissa and Emma said. And Carissa and Emma, you can just share each other's. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So we had a little discussion there. We wrote down what our neighbors said. Perfect. Okay. So now that we've talked about that a little bit, really, everything in the modern world is due to chemistry. Okay? We see all sorts of things. So in my little discussion on the Zoom chat, we talked about plastics. We talked about cleaning products. We talked about beauty products. Carissa on the Zoom chat had mentioned makeup, hair products, right? Things is kind of mundane or just everyday as steel that holds this building up. It's an ancient form of chemistry. We've been making steel for hundreds of years, but it's definitely chemistry. We're changing the metal, we're changing the properties of iron to make it stronger by using a chemical process, okay? And then aluminum, or if you want to say it correctly, aluminium, and if you want to just sound fancy, right? Aluminum or aluminium, by the way, does anyone know the story as to why we call it aluminum here in the United States? Because we're dumb, yeah, number one. Because we like to be different, but I think that we like to be different in like the worst possible way. You know? Like, oh, you use a smart way of measuring things, we're gonna use a stupid way of measuring things, okay? Oh, you're gonna drive small, efficient cars, we're gonna drive really large, inefficient cars, all right? So we're gonna do it the worst way possible. No, but really it's because, and this is the most American thing ever, Americans had hard time saying aluminium. It takes a while, like, you can't say it fast. You know, you can't be like, yeah, I went down and got some aluminium, and we shot it up with our shotguns. You know, it's harder to say aluminium, so they would just say aluminum, and to fit our bad pronunciation, we got rid of a letter. We got rid of the I after the N in aluminium. So if you go to any other English-speaking country, it's aluminium. But here in the United States of America, we say aluminum. Way to go! Yeah, awesome. I will say aluminum. I'll probably use them interchangeably. So anyway, aluminum, like everything that, like Kiara's water bottle, that's aluminum. More than likely the legs on your chairs are an alloy of aluminum. This desk up here is almost completely aluminum. Your cans, your soda pop cans, are aluminum. It's so cheap. Okay. Aluminum used to be one of the most valuable metals in the world. Okay. In fact, the top of the Washington Monument, you know, the obelisk in Washington, D.C., has a really shiny spike on the top as a part of the monument. Like that's the crowning, like the crown jewel of the Washington Monument. It's made out of aluminum, okay? When it was made, it was worth more than the same weight of platinum, okay? And platinum is like insanely expensive, right? Well, we figured out, not me, smart people a long time ago, figured out how to get aluminum because aluminum was really rare. It was really hard to get because it almost never can be found in just a pure form, but we can find it in other minerals called bauxite, and then we can smelt it using a chemical process to make aluminum. And now it's so cheap, we make soda cans that we throw away out of it. Okay, that's cool. And all of the planes that you've ever flown in or seen are made out of aluminum. Okay, so it's pretty cool stuff. We use this stuff every day. The lithium ion battery that's in your smartphone, in your laptop, that powers my electric car. Lithium ion batteries, I mean, it's in the name, right? It just sounds chemistry-ish. Lithium ion, it's an element and then a chemical principle, an ion, okay? Pretty cool stuff. And we'll talk about electrochemistry later on. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to pick one of these topics here listed on this slide, and write down, well, I guess I talked about a bunch of them already, but write down like how it's connected to chemistry and maybe how you've never really thought about how it's connected to chemistry before. Okay, so prompt number 4, write down the connection to chemistry of one of these topics. What? What's the point? To prevent me from spitting on your face.
You should have got that at the beginning.
Well, I was wearing this.
Well, but then you took it off.
It serves the same purpose. Well, I'm over here. I'm in my box. What? It's really hard to hear anything but myself with that thing on, and it makes me want to vomit. You know when you record your own voice, and you say, "Is that what I sound like? Is that my voice?" Yeah. I'm really sorry that you all have to hear my voice because it's obnoxious AF. Okay, it's really obnoxious. Hey, thanks. Hey, it's all right. I mean, there's worse. Yeah. Do I have self-esteem? Do I have self-esteem issues? Get rid of the voice. I have self-esteem issues. Great. Okay. I'm going to give you precisely 31 and a half seconds to finish up prompt number 4. You think that's accurate in any way, Clayton? Mississippi? 1, Mississippi. 2, Mississippi. 3, Mississippi. No, it's not accurate at all. Learn how to count in 60 beats per minute. That's how. Come on, percussionist.
My whole life I've learned that was true.
I mean, it's ish. It's close-ish. Kind of like how a foot is an acceptable measurement unit. It's acceptable-ish.
A foot isn't real?
Actually, there are 2 official measurements of a foot in the United States, and it's the stupidest thing. Yeah, no. Yeah. No, you guys didn't know this? There's 2 official foot measurements in the United States. So depending on which one you're using, your distances to different places can be different.
Wait, I thought.
Because it's stupid, okay? Because it's stupid.
What's the other one?
No, it's a foot. And they're both 12 inches, but they have a different definition of what an inch is. Guys.
Is this where you get the measurements from in construction?
Is this what?
Wait, do they sell the same foot in like the tape?
So, like measuring tapes,
Do they come in both?
they come in both.
Really? I think I had.
Okay, welcome to the idiotic world of the British Imperial Unit.
We make
Boar's head. How about a furlong? Or a barrel? Oh yeah, I've got a barrel. What does that even mean? Oh, it's like 48 gallons. What? Oh, I went 3 furlongs in 7 miles. Why are you mixing units? The colonies. Yeah. Okay. So we've all responded to 4. Yeah. Cool. Cool. All right. So here's what I want you to do. Get with your neighbor again. Chat with them about what you wrote down for number 4. Cool. Ivy, are you able to speak?
I am able to speak. Dennis
Okay,
is just...
Ivy.
Okay.
Tell the rest of the group what you had to say. I'm going to mute myself.
Okay. I wrote about flavorings are connected to chemistry because of the combination of natural and man-made chemicals to recreate and imitate the flavor of natural substances. So yeah.
Cool. And then Shalina, are you able to speak?
Yes.
Can you share what you wrote for problem?
I just put toothpaste is connected to chemistry because all the chemicals used to make it up, like each chemical has a different purpose that provides for the teeth.
Awesome. Okay, perfect. All right. Now here's what I want to do. I want to bring the conversation to a class-wide level. Okay, so Franklin, what do you have to say about prompt number 4? Yeah, for sure. So different types of fuels, right? So we use chemical processes to make fuels, right? Like gasoline doesn't just come out of the ground, right? It comes out of the ground as crude oil, and then we have to put it through a whole bunch of chemical processes, and then it becomes gasoline. And we can even change the quality of the gasoline, right? Are you all familiar with the term octane? Octane is a type of chemical bond. It's a type of molecule, octane. You've heard of methane, maybe hexane, octane. All of those are in the same family of chemical molecules. And octane is what makes your fuel burn well and burn clean. So because I'm cheap, I specifically use the lowest octane rating for the stupid internal combustion car that I had to buy because I had twins over the summer. Look, guys, there's no way to avoid buying a minivan when you have twins. Okay, it just happens. It's impossible to avoid because there's 2 little babies in car seats and 3 other children. How am I going to fix that? I have 3 other children, 2 of which are in 5-point harnesses as well. So it's like I had no choice. I was forced to buy a minivan. Well, if I want to be safe and like follow the law. Yeah.
Are there electric minivans?
There is currently no option for pure electric minivans, which makes me so angry. The fact that I had to buy a minivan was upsetting, but the fact that I had to buy another internal combustion engine car was even more upsetting because they're so stupid. You can convert from a gas burning car to a natural gas pretty easily. So you could do that but natural gas isn't all that much cleaner, nor is it all that much more efficient. So yeah, but I'm never gonna buy another internal combustion engine car again because they're stupid. Like every time I go to the gas station, this is the dumbest thing. Every time that I have to go get an oil change. Are you kidding me? Why are we, this is like 1800s technology. Can we move on already? Anyway, so it makes me mad. But we definitely use chemical processes on fuels. Yes, absolutely. Let's see here. Brendan, what do you have to say on number 4?
All right. So I remember detergent.
Detergent, okay.
So basically, the chemicals, they have to mix it so that they react in such a way so that once they find that combination, that will break down like substances like sticky food and stuff like that in clothing.
Perfect.
They also have to make sure that they destroy the articles of clothing.
Right, so they've got, that's an excellent point. We want it to clean, but we don't want it to just make the whole piece of clothing disappear, right? So that's a very accurate point. We want it to be able to remove dirt and stains and so forth, but we don't want the fibers of the clothes to just disassociate from one another, right? Okay, one more. Let's do Eleanor. What did you have to say? Perfect. Yeah, so using different chemicals to literally trick your brain to activate certain receptors in your nose that says, this smells like this flower. But you're not smelling that flower or that fruit or whatever it is that men's colognes are supposed to smell like. Gross, whatever. But it's tricking your brain because you're not actually smelling that thing. The nose olfactory receptors in your nose are binding to the chemical that's coming in there and sending a signal to your brain saying, I'm smelling this thing, right? It's the same thing with artificial sweeteners. Who's familiar with aspartame? Anyone ever heard of aspartame? Splenda, Sweet and Low. Sweet and Low. That is the weirdest name. Sweet and Low. It's like, and it's like jazz. It has the logo. It has the 5-staff music. Yeah, it has a music staff, and yeah, it's all the notes. It's like playing jazz on your tongue or whatever. It's weird. Anyway, gross. Yeah, fake sugar, right? 0-calorie sweeteners.
Is it a worse one?
Well, so here's the thing. It tricks your tongue because the chemical is a very similar shape as sucrose, which is sugar. And it binds to the taste receptors on your tongue, and it says, hey, I'm sugar, but it's not. Your brain is tasting sugar, but there is no sugar present. Okay? Do you know where those artificial sweeteners come from? A lot of them are synthesized out of oil, crude oil.
I'm eating gasoline.
No, you're not eating gasoline. They're also natural, or they are also laxatives, which was a fun lesson for me to learn when I downed a half of a gallon of ice cream that was sweetened with Splenda the other day. Well, not the other day. I was probably around your age, and I was like, oh, sweet ice cream. I went down and I was probably watching like Dragon Ball Z or something, and and I'm just putting down this half gallon of ice cream. That made for an interesting afternoon. What? Well, it was sweetened with Splenda. It was it was like a low-calorie ice cream. It was like a light ice cream. Let's just say that because I didn't have a phone or a smartphone, I read a lot of shampoo bottles that afternoon. None of you know what I'm talking about. But okay, when you forget your phone, you go into the bathroom, you're like, man, I gotta read something. Shampoo bottle. Okay, thanks. I had to explain that for a few of you, but it hit eventually. Okay. I'm gonna give you a few minutes to answer prompt number 6, which is, the classroom-wide conversation, which includes the things that I said, which of course were super interesting, right? Mr. Koch had diarrhea once. Okay, lol. Yeah, write down prompt number 6 and what you thought was interesting from our discussion there. Okay, cool. We have 25 minutes left. Put your phone away. What phone? Truth be told. All right. I think that's the end of the slideshow. It is. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to end the Zoom meeting. If you Zoom meeting people, please submit your assignment to me just by emailing it to me, and then you'll get points for the assignment. The assignment hasn't been published on Canvas yet because I wanted to wait until I had a recording that I could post to it. So please submit it just through email, and I will see all of y'all later. Cool? Thanks for joining. See you in a while. Let me see if I can figure out how to do this. Wait.